Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Candle Close News. Sending all of you pioneers out there much love and high vibrations out to wherever you are in this galaxy and matrix. Certainly hope you're having a blessed true new year right now, today, as we begin the first week of March and start to kick off the true beginning of the new year. But let's kick this off like we usually do with a little bit of motivational and then get into the minutia monotony that we usually do here on the Daily Candle Close News. You see, pioneers, short-term thinking says the easy life, the complacent, stagnant life, it's okay. Short-term thinking says I can just skip it today and I can wait till tomorrow to do it. Short-term thinking encourages you to make short-term emotional decisions that hurt you in the long run. The more short-term decisions you make, decisions that are based on that immediate gratifications, decisions that are based on quick emotional satisfactions, they'll further you from the path that you want to be on. That's why I say you got to pay attention. Use your mind. You have to watch and pay attention to every single second, because those seconds turn into minutes, which turn into hours, which turn into days, which turn into weeks and months and years. You need tactical wins. You've got to win battles with yourself to win the war. You got to get out of bed each and every day. Get up, do the work, go hard, read, study, build your craft and skill, and you need to do things that you don't necessarily want to fucking do. And I know that can be hard. But that's why people lose the war, the daily fight, because it's a challenge. You will not always want to do what you need to do. You will not always feel like doing something you need to do, you've got to do. You may not want to go to work, fight that battle, but you got to. You got to know your goals, your strategic outcome. You need to know why it's important. And then you need to get up every day, out of your bed, get off your phone, get out of the groupthink, the comfort zone, that stagnant lifestyle, and get into the war zone, the combat zone, where you gotta fight for everything, where you gotta dig deep for your higher self, to be your best self, where you gotta be vigilant, a victor, a winner, someone who's on guard, holding the line. See, don't get caught up in the things that don't matter. Get caught up in the things that do. You got to stop telling yourself that you're doing enough when you're not. You got to do more every day. In life, it's never enough until you feel this overwhelming feeling of like, oh shit, man, I'm outworking everybody around me. I'm doing more, pushing harder. Once you get there, that's when you know you have done enough. And then do more. Before any action or any inaction, ask yourself this, pioneers. Is this action going to make me stronger or weaker? Can I get a hello? You have to tell yourself the truth. And the truth is, you have time. Stop making excuses. You have the skill, the knowledge. You got the money. Stop wasting it. You got the willpower and the discipline to get it done. Most people don't ever make it where they want to go because they give themselves mental outs. Oh, this business doesn't make enough money, so I'm going to quit. Oh, I'm happy with where I'm at. Whatever, this stagnant, complacent lifestyle. I don't want to be better. You got to learn to train your brain with a zero options mentality. Learn to seek out being uncomfortable so you can be your best self. Put yourself in the position so you can shine tomorrow. Put yourself back up against the wall, because that's when you're going to fight. Through the inspiration of desperation, you'll become more creative than ever before. Throw your whole self into it, your creativity, and you'll go at it tentatively. You won't concentrate on nothing else but yourself. And if you don't have what you don't want, stop telling yourself some story like you weren't born to the right family, or you ain't got the money, whatever. Start committing to yourself. If you want to succeed, build yourself. Because people that want to succeed will either die or succeed, period. When you don't have any other option but to succeed, your chances of success are pretty freaking good. It is, I'm gonna freaking succeed no matter what I've got to do. No matter how hard it is, no matter how difficult the road, no matter how many obstacles stand in my way, no matter how many people stand in my way, no matter what, I will succeed. On the days I don't feel like it, guess what? I'm still going to get up, still going to put in the grind, fourth quarter overtime. I'm still putting my war boots on, and I'm still going out and kicking ass. Because what you believe in your hearts and speak in your minds will eventually become your words and your reality one day. And what you repeatedly do gets ingrained in your subconscious mindset. And what gets ingrained in your subconscious mindset becomes an unconscious action and an unconscious activity. And I've always wanted mine to be guideful, helpful, and nurturing to others. So I'm sending you all much love and high vibrations out to wherever you are. Kick back, relax, grab your favorite drink, your favorite snack, light up your favorite strand, as we get ready to talk about some important things today as we kick off March, the true beginning of the new year. And we all remember this if we, go back and read Exodus. I know I've got it pulled up somewhere for you guys. Sorry about that. Hate to do that. So many tabs always pulled up. But when we go back and reread Exodus, we know that this month, the beginning of months for you, it shall be the first month of the year, known as Abib. Okay, very important. And that's truly going to be April, or coming up what is known as the spring equinox right here, leading into the new moon of March. Okay, so very important. And this time period starts Ostara or Eosta. Okay, so very important. This is the Anglo-Saxon pagan goddess for the springtime, the spring goddess. So we got the spring equinox coming up, starting and kicking off April, Abib, the true beginning start of the year, which happens on March 20th. So March is the first true month of the year. And why is that important? Because, well, they don't teach us this in our schools. Okay, so let's talk about this. Why not? Why is it they don't teach us that March is the new year? We've been used to the new year starting in the month of January, named after the Greek god Janus, for the beginnings, ends, gates and doorways. So when you do a thorough research on each month and you use common sense, you'll see that these fools were ignorant enough to leave the truth hidden in plain sight. Using etymology, if you use the last 4 months, take September, septum, which means 7. If you do an etymology on the month of October, an 8-sided polygon, and it means 8. If you do an etymology on November, it means nov, 9. And if you do an etymology on 10, December, deci, it means 10. So even my son knows this, because he's not a fool, and my pioneers know this because they're divergence and glitches. So if December is the 10th month, that would mean January is the 11th month, and that would make February the 12th month, the last month of the year, which is kind of making sense because We do know that's the 12th zodiac sign, Aquarius. So very important. If you go and look at the seasons of a year, there are 4 seasons in a year. And they are in sets of 3s. 4 seasons in sets of 3s. So the very first set and season would be spring. So if you think about spring, that's when everything blossoms, right? That's why this was symbolized as and known as the spring goddess, Ostara, or known as today Easter, which is celebrated in April, which really should be celebrated on, March 20th. So everything comes up from the ground, the trees, life. The leaves change color. Without no photosynthesis, no sun, there would be no green life. Flowers come out in the springtime. This is when things become new again. So if you're a part of nature and the universe and tapped in, you would know that the beginning of the year is March. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out. This is a message for those divergents and glitches that want to step outside the box. They don't want to conform to somebody else's groupthink. Just because somebody else says something and writes it down doesn't mean it's correct. We can all write a story, a book on our theories. We can all write a book on our opinions. That don't mean it's correct. So do your own due diligence and pay attention to how important this is. March being Happy New Year. It's time for you to start your New Year's resolutions. So just wanted to share this deep knowledge with you all, especially as we get ready to head into Aries at the end of March. The ram, the high ram above, so very important. Just Easter and Ostara, the spring equinox coming up on March 20th. The next day would be the new moon, which tends to bring bullish energy in the markets. And well, what do you know? Lately we've been seeing a sell-off. And well, don't panic, you guys. I teach my pioneers, if I'm telling you that we're going to see moves in the market, pay attention. If I'm telling you that a coin's going to pump, pay attention. If I'm telling you that a crypto is going to have a 20, 30, 40, 95% sell-off, don't take it personally. These are all opportunities. We are smart, sophisticated pioneers and long-term investors. Okay? So when we're getting these exaggerated sell-offs, it's the perfect time to start reaccumulation. You want to buy the blood in the streets. But most importantly, what you really want to do is, we're starting accumulation, so we're going to draw a circle. We've hit limit orders on multiple cryptos, so we'll just leave this here for future reference. But most importantly, you want to buy the boredom. When everybody's bored and everybody's saying crypto's a scam and they're not interested in it no more, and they're saying, oh, well, I've lost money in crypto, it's probably because you bought a top and then sold. You only lose when you sell, but you probably bought a top and you sold the bottom, so you did it backwards. When people were saying it's a scam, this, that, and the third, this is really when you want to start taking action, like we've been teaching you. Don't follow the herd. Like in 2017, 2012, 2019, all throughout 2021, up until Elon Musk on Saturday Night Live sold the markets off in a frenzy, and it's in there in the charts to prove it. But I've been adamant that we could see a potential retracement back down to 22,300. We just exited February 23rd in the 223 year. As we get ready to head into March 22nd, 322 in the 223 year. So very important. And when we look at today's date and we see, if we were to go back to the start of the 50-year cycle, and sorry about that, the Jubilee, right here, the 50-year cycle and the Jubilee, my son's birthday, and we connect it to today, the 3-3 date, that very powerful 33 number, that transmutation number, that alchemy number. Water unfreezes at 33 degrees. You have 33 vertebrae. Some people have 34, but it connects to your pineal gland, So very important, that transmutation number, that Jesus died at 33 years old. Your host here, Coach A, about to turn 33 next month. So anyway, today being a 22-week, 3-day time period, being the 303rd day of the year, or day leaving 303 days left in the year, drop the 0 in the rules of numerology, giving you the 33. It's just not surprising that we see the volatility bringing us right back down to this range around this time period. We knew we were in this descending falling wedge that we'll talk about in just a minute, and we're just holding support so far. We fell through it, and now we're holding support and getting rejection from this 22,300. Very pivotal range right here. 22,300, 22,400, tying us into Satoshi Nakamoto, giving us that 224, the creator of Bitcoin. So we'll pull that up. Never have pulled the Wikipedia up on this gentleman before, but we will. He was born April 5th, currently 47 years old right now. So very important. Alright, so currently seeing Bitcoin set right here where we were talking about in our previous video, and last night's Thursday night hangout with the Waters community. So very important for all you that caught that last night. We hung out, discussed a little bit of technical analysis, just had a group hangout night last night. So go and watch the video, 2 hours and 50 minutes long. We had a great time. So what we're seeing right now are some major failed support levels that are now resistance levels that would need to be broken back above these two, 22.3, 22.4, 22.7, and held before we can even consider to get bullish again. So remember, this is the 223 and the 322 exponential moving averages. When the yellow is above the blue, we tend to be in a bullish momentum. When that flips, we tend to be in a bearish momentum. So we don't want to see this yellow flip this blue, but we take care of accumulation underneath both of these moving averages when we see it. Okay, so again, buying the 15, 16, 161, the golden ratio of 5 levels of Bitcoin for months, de-risking, accumulating, de-risking, accumulating, and vice versa, so on and so forth, has been beneficial if you followed the channel for the last several months. It's irrefutable, undeniable that the work will pay off, but you've got to approach this market with a sophisticated mindset and not in a quick hurry to make a buck. So let's talk about some more dates and today, while we're seeing everything we're seeing. All right. So, like we said, today is our 3/3, March 3rd, the 33 date. We started this live at 3:33 p.m. because that is tying us straight back into the language of the angels that I am trying to teach all my pioneers to speak with a gangster dialect. Okay, so that's why I decided on 3/3 at the beginning of the new year this year to come out and start this live at 3:33 p.m. to help us all manifest, you guys. So I wanted to share that all with you all. So one quick note about that: a day leaving 303 days left in the year. I just thought that'd be special this year to, share this with you all. Again, being 22 weeks, 3 days since the start of the 50-year jubilee, something that only comes around every 50 years. So, this is very important. This 33 is an alchemy number that we can use to manifest our own reality. And so one other important thing to note is today's the 62nd day of the year, and that's tying us back into, of course, all roads lead to Rome. Sorry, I always spell that wrong. But it's going to lead us right back to the Roman Empire, which is what we're going to be talking about today, giving us that same 62 in numerology. Pay attention to this 44. We'll talk about that in a minute as well. But today is the 62nd day of the year, and our number one holding here that we teach you about here is Ripple XRP. And we do a lot of cryptocurrency and technical analysis around Bitcoin and Ethereum and other cryptos as well, especially Bitcoin, because we know it controls the entire market. It is the sun, Sol, Ra, Helios. It gives all energy to the other cryptocurrencies in this market, and we tie it to Saturn and the mythologies and Satoshi Nakamoto, the pseudonym made up character that they told us created it. Okay, so this 62 I thought was just very important today to come out and do this, because it ties us back into black magic that I'm trying to teach you how to use. You know, become the magi, the magician, the alchemist, the architect of your own reality. So on the 62nd day of the year, let's manifest our own reality, you guys. So anyways, back to the importance of the 62nd day of the year. Again, also, we know that ties us into God giving us 26, the mirror of 62, and you know, God gives us 17 and 10, the same 17 and 10 we get in man, which, you know, you were created in the image of the Elohim. It says this in Genesis 1:26-27. So another quick note, but that's enough about today and the 3-3. We know that's leading into tomorrow, the 3-4 day, or internationally written 43, which is the 14th prime number, being 22 weeks and 4 days, again tying us into Satoshi Nakamoto, the creator of Bitcoin. So could be a pivotal point for crypto, because this is a Saturn day. If you don't have a whole Bitcoin, you have what are called sats, satoshis, saturns. Okay, sats, satoshis. So 3-4 or 34, 43, pay attention to this connection. This number is going to be, this 43, 34 is going to play a pivotal role in just a minute as we get ready to discuss how important March is. And we'll go ahead and show you right now. When you type out March, you get the 43 in numerology. This is so very important. So the 43, 34, as above, so below. So pay attention to this right here. So we'll go ahead and skip that, but tomorrow could be a pivotal volatile day in the market. I'm expecting it being a Saturday. The stock market's closed. You know, we just started the month of March, so let's see what happens. But it's also 5 months and 5 days since the start of the Jubilee, also tying us into Satoshi Nakamoto, giving us that 55 in numerology, tying us back into God 55, or Satan 55, or Time Keeper 55, which is another name for Saturn. Okay, Satoshi. Okay, but ultimately it's just predestination, giving us that same 55. So very important. Another thing that we could talk about is we just exited out of February, or what is known as February, which is pretty important, because when we do the numerology on that, what do you know? It gives us the same 43 we were just talking about. But it was also known as, this February was known as the god of purifications, or also worshipped as the god of the underworld. And we were just talking about this 55 number, and underworld gives us that 55, and we know that is where the fallen angels of Tartarus are. Spell angels right. giving us that same 55, that 44 I told you to pay attention to. So just making some pretty cool connections that I found. I'm going to share it with you all. But anyways, let's get started. The next date we'll be talking about coming up very soon is this 3-7 date. We know 37 is the 12th prime number, and we are in the year of the... Oh, man. Let's see if we can go back. Oh, man, we lost it all. Bummer. Well, you guys, it's alright. We can start all over. It's alright. One take, uncut, no edit. We live. First time in a while. So anyway, but the 12 is tying us into 37. The 3-7 date coming up is the full moon. Okay, so that's tying us into rabbit, giving us the 12 in numerology. Okay, so March 7th, 3-7, or internationally written 7-3, is 73 is the 21st prime number. So as above, so below to the 12. A total span of 23 weeks. Very important number. But this 3-7 date is the full moon, you guys. And that full moon, what do you know? Giving you that same 43 that we talked about, how we got in March. This is a very important number to pay attention to, again, this month. Okay, last year, if you remember, the Rams won the Super Bowl 56, with a total of 43 points, 20-23, 2-3. Okay, Rams giving you 57. But what was important was it was during the year of the Shemitah and Rosh Hashanah, at a time period where they blow the Ram's horn, you guys. And what do you know? Ram's horn gives you that same 43 that we've been talking about. So irrefutable, undeniable how important this time period is. So let's connect this date to the upcoming eclipse, 3-7, the full moon. There's that 44 that I told you to pay attention to in just a little bit, because the upcoming eclipse is the 110th day of the year, which ties us back into, well, the cute little rabbit. What do you know? Giving us 57 as we come out of Super Bowl 57. And this cute little rabbit is a saying from Ostara, okay, the Anglo-Saxon pagan goddess. Right here, it's known as this symbol and fertility symbol of the egg. We've seen the egg rituals that we talked about at the Super Bowl. These balloons and UFOs seen in the sky. Rihanna in her birthing ritual and the halftime show, and an egg right here. Then we saw the halftime commercial in the Super Bowl showing a UFO, an egg symbol in the sky. Okay, as we got ready to head into the year of the rabbit, fertility and symbolism. Okay, it's all as we get ready to head into Ostara and Easter. Okay, where they have you out there looking for Nimrod's testicles. Okay, so very important. Or have your children out there looking for Nimrod's testicles. But anyways, this cute little rabbit is a saying that came from this right here. So that's why I typed that out, and I got this 195. And when you look at the time period from Bitcoin till now, from March 11th, the day the world changed forever in 2020. You know, if you go back here to March 11th, because March 10th was the last day of normality for everybody, and take it all the way to March 11th this year, it's 1,095 days. Drop to zero, you get the 195 as we head into the cute little rabbit year. Okay, so I just thought that was another pretty cool connection that I wanted to bring up for all you decoders. But getting back on track here, we were talking about how this date 3-7, our upcoming eclipse, solar eclipse, is 44 days. 3-7 is the 66th day of the year. That ties us back into, well, Queen Elizabeth. Queen Elizabeth, when typed out, we know she just passed away. And she gives us that 66 and 69. That's important. She gives us that 55 we were talking about earlier, but Bitcoin's all-time high is 69,000. She died in her platinum jubilee year. She gives us that 66. We saw Corona on the world stage, a 6-letter word that gives us 66 in numerology, and we saw the Queen die at 96. Today is 33. Okay, we saw her ultimately have a ascension, giving us that same 33. Okay, so very important. Alright, so today's 33. Ascend today, you guys. Alright, so anyways, we talked about how March gave us 43, and full moon on 3/7 gives us 43 as well. When we type out full moon, that's Tuesday, Martes, the day of Mars. Okay, and this is March, Mars, the month that leads into Aries, the ram. Okay, all right, the god of war is Mars. Okay, or also known as Aries. So just very pivotal time and dates coming up as we head into 3/8, which leaves 43 days until the upcoming eclipse that we expect to see bullish energy around this time period in April, before we start to see these markets pill over again, very similar to, sorry you guys, right back in here. So an automatic rally that would eventually pull over again after the April leading into May 5th Cinco de Mayo eclipse, that May 15th date, and so forth, leading into June and July lows like we typically get. June and July lows, June and July lows, whatever. Okay, so very important that we just pay attention to the upcoming date of the full moon. Alright, this is also from the end of the Shemitah and Rosh Hashanah and the start of the Jubilee up to the full moon is 161 days. That is the golden ratio of 5,161, leading into the 66th day of the year. So pretty important. Wanted to just bring up that right there. We know how important math is. So let's go back to this page and continue to just make some more bullish connections to, we already talked about 311 in one of my previous videos, being the 57th day that adds up to 57 in numerology, being the 70th day of the year. We know the Queen died on her platinum jubilee, her 70th year of reign. Today is the 62nd day of the year. The Queen, she was coronated on February 6th. So that's 62 or 26, either way, as above so below, however you write it. Okay, so just want to bring that up. But this obviously 313 is going to be March 13th. We know in 2020 that was Friday the 13th, the day the orange guy handed control over to FEMA. Okay, and we saw the world shut down with the SARS-CoV-2 virus that was never isolated in any virology institute in any continent on the globe. Okay, anyway, but it exists somehow. So it's like, show me the data, you know. It's like, not your keys, not your crypto, show me the science. Anyways, but we know this was a very pivotal time period, and we know that in 1997 this happened to be the Phoenix Lights event, where we saw a V-shaped UFO over Phoenix. Okay, so we just had the Super Bowl 57 held in Phoenix out of Glendale, Arizona, giving us that same 55 that we were just talking about. Okay, So very important, tying us back into Queen Elizabeth, God, Satan, Timekeeper, all those 55 connections that we were making. So I just think this is just irrefutable, undeniable, because all this leads into the significance of 313 being a point towards self-leadership, intuition, and striving towards positive self-development. Understanding the meaning behind the number 313 is crucial to interpreting the spiritual messages you're receiving spiritual-wise. The number 313, which, happy birthday, early birthday, B, she know who she is, can indicate that you have a strong union with the spiritual and I ain't gonna try and pronounce that word right there at this moment. I know how to say it, but right now I'm gonna slaughter it. But anyways, this is a angel number, very spiritual number, 313. The 13 or 31, depending on how you read it. It's a palindrome, so it reads the same way forwards and backwards. So very important. But you can go and do your own due diligence. There's been some major events that have happened on the world stage other than the Phoenix Lights, tied to around this 313 date throughout history. So, have fun. So that was just another date that I wanted to bring up because it leads into National Pi Day. Again, leaving 37 days to our upcoming eclipse, being the 12th prime number, being the 73rd day of the year. So as above, so below. You guys, just alchemy playing in the cards right here. The 12th prime number and the 21st prime number. Okay, so this 1221 ties us again into the rabbit. This is tying us into 110, which is tying us into rabbit, giving us the 12, the 21. 12 is the mirror of 21, and the 110. Alright, so very important. Just want to continue to reiterate how important the month of March could be, because it's all leading into the most important connection that's going to blow your socks off. And it's leading into the Ides of March. Giving us that same 43. Irrefutable, undeniable. So if you're not familiar with the Ides of March, well then we're going to explain it to you right now and do a little deep dive, because what it is the Ides of March. It is the quote unquote assassination of Julius Caesar, which happened in 44 BC. There's that 44 again, you guys. The 74th day of the year in the Roman calendar. All roads lead to Rome. So again, just a quick another 44 connection for you guys is going to be copying out and pasting assassination. 43. Irrefutable, undeniable, and Ides of March, and this alleged assassination, this kill, giving us 43, giving us 44. He died in 44 BC in March, quote unquote. Just it kind of reminded me of when we saw that officer that was officer giving us 44, and we saw a 44-year-old officer, Derek Chauvin equals 44, killed George Floyd on the 44th parallel. You see the connections here, and officer gives us 62. I'm giving you this on the 62nd day of the year. Maybe they don't come get me for that one, but it's just something. It's all scripted, always by a code. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying man did it or whatever. I'm just saying math is everything. So this assassination of Julius Caesar, the Roman Empire leader, all tying in by the numbers, So again, Roman Empire, if you don't remember, because we know it went away, but I'll quickly show you all. Roman Empire giving us that same 44 and 62, today's date numerology, or today's date of the year, 62nd date of the year. So giving us that 44. Irrefutable, undeniable, you guys. So also note how Ides of March gave us that 43rd, that 43, and it's on 315, the 73rd day of the year. So, or the 74th day of the year. Another quick little red pill for you all. The Romans gave us Caesar Borgia, which is an image of Jesus, giving us that same 74. Or our favorite pal, Lucifer, the light bringer, which is ultimately just you. Energy. Period. You know? And it's just occult knowledge that they keep hidden from you. Occult just means hidden. Period. Okay, that 34, 43 connection. You know, you are Neo. Giving us that 47, the mirror of 74, that 34, the mirror of 43, we've been talking about. That 17, we get a man and God. Okay? I'm not being sexist because you are Trinity too. Period. When I spell it right. Giving us that same 43, 74, 47. Period. Okay? Alright? Irrefutable, undeniable, you guys. So, to be able to come out here in March and make these bullish connections to Julius, giving us that same 43. Mr. Caesar. C-A-E. But anyway, giving us that same, have I not spelled Caesar Borgia right? Julius Caesar. C-A-E-S-A-R. Alright. Sorry, you guys. But giving us that same 47, that 43. You know, it's just, this 43 is all over this month of March, and the story of the Ides of March and the alleged assassination. Okay, as we get ready to head into, again, Ostara. It's just freaking, it's always astrology, you guys. Always pay attention to the stars. 74, 43. There's 20 that keeps coming up plagued in this decode around all this. It's just tying us back into who we are. We are the player in this game, you guys. Giving us that same 20. You know, become Alice. Become the player. Neo, Trinity, Jake Sully, Natiri. You guys. So, take back your power. 43 is the 14th prime number. Again, you know, you got that in God. You know. It's an important month, March, right now. First month of the year. Start your New Year's resolutions to becoming the chosen one again. Okay? You know, don't get caught up in this time, this illusion, that 47, that 14 we were talking about. You know? Realize that you are infinity. You guys. Giving us that same 47. Period. It's all right there. You know? Just can't express this enough. So hopefully you see some connections here to how it's always scripted out. But the last one I want to make is the 43rd element. It's tying us into Technitos, the 43rd element. Okay? Which means artificial. Okay? Okay? We know that we're witnessing the Piscean age leave and Aquarius artificial realm enter. Okay? And I mean, the truth sucks, but the truth will set you free. But artificial, giving us that same 74 we were talking about, that 52, that 25. That's all important because we're in the rabbit year. So very important, you know, the 43rd element. Alright? And it's just giving us that 43 technetium, coming from the Greek word technitos. Okay, so again, meaning artificial, and that's the age we're entering. You know, the technological age, the metaverse. Very important. But there was one more note about Julius Caesar and this assassination. He was attacked 23 times and stabbed 23 times. And that's a very important number. That's the 9th prime number. And today is 3-3. And I decided to come out and do this video on 3-3 at 3:33 p.m. And we know there are so many secret hidden meanings behind the number 33. And we've shared a lot of them over the last few years. But, you know, we know this 33 is 3 times 3, which is 9, the number of the esoteric man, and the number of emanations from the root of the divine tree. Sorry about that, you guys. But anyway, 3 times 3 is 9, but 3 to the power of 3 is 27, which is 2 plus 7 is 9. So again, 9 as well. So it's the master builder. Not the master builder number, but it's 11, 22, and 33, which are the 3 master numbers in Freemasonry. But obviously, we know it goes so much deeper than that. We share a lot of this, but this 33 is 3 times 3 is 9. It can be considered a completion number, and I consider that to be important this year because he was stabbed 23 times coming into this time period of 3-3 in the Jubilee year. We get that 23, that 44, okay, tying us into Julius Caesar, okay, in the 5783 year, the Jubilee year, in the Hebrew calendar, 5783. 5 plus 7 plus 8 plus 3 is 23. It ties us back into the moon, you guys, the full moon coming up, okay? So pay attention. It's all making sense to me as to why we're kind of seeing a falling knife falling to 22,300, 223 right now around this time period. You know, it just really does. And hopefully it gives you an eye and foresight to be able to see the connections as well, you know, being able to make multiple connections. So I don't know how much more I can get in depth with this and share with you the code, the technical analysis, the past history that they quote unquote teach us or show us hidden in plain sight, etc. You know, so the last date I do want to talk about though is obviously this date right here is 3/22. It's going to be the 81st day of the year, being, well, ritual gives us 81, so I expect this to be a pretty ritualistic day around the 3-2-1 go or the 3-2-2, the skull and bones day, leading into the 3/23. So this is the new moon, this is the spring equinox, and well, this is 3/22 in the 2/23 year, a palindrome date. So this will be a convenient date to pay attention to coming up in the near distant future. And if we connect that to the upcoming end of the Jubilee, it's going to be 25 weeks and 2 days. So the 2552 backwards, tying into the, you know, the 2552 we get in Rabbit, and we're in the year of the Rabbit. So that's pretty unique as well. Again, a palindrome number, as above, so below. So pretty important, you guys. Just wanted to make those connections right there. Hang out with you guys, talk about a few dates coming up, and then just continue to just talk about this cryptocurrency technical analysis. We came out and we recently talked about a lot of things in a few videos and a few hangouts in one of my mentors' discords. You know, I posted that Thursday night hangout. Like I said, we talked about some cryptocurrency technical analysis, and just as I was talking about it, shortly after, we saw exactly what I was talking about. Swipe right down back into our falling wedge pattern, descending triangle, whatever you want to call it, and hit our horizontal trading range of 223, tying us back into our favorite pals at Skull and Bones University. So very important just to continue to see hard work pay off, you guys. So we know we had the breakout in my last video of this falling wedge. As expected, I said we could possibly retest even 22,700 and break through this. We did, and then, well, we came back, retested, and broke out, but we could not break 23,700. That I said in my last video was crucial. We were rejected, kiss of death, and fell straight through. I mean, just plummeted. We know the stock market, it also pulled back at the same time. You got the dollar kind of pumping, not good for crypto. You got the stock market, it pulled back at the same time, but it's been bouncing since. So we know we had our high with a low that led into a high with a higher low that led into a higher high, and now we're just hoping to claim a higher low, okay? Or we're going to see a downside measured move to a target of around possibly 20,000 psychologically, 1993. I mean, really closing that CME gap that we've talked about previously. So that's going to be, I mean, we could possibly come and close this gap where there's no price action. Okay, so I see us doing this later in the year than now. But if they were to go ahead and rip the band-aid off, that would definitely reset some of the bearish divergences that we've been seeing on the RSI and the MACD and the other oscillators. Okay, so either way, study market structure and you'll understand where we're at, because that's what we do here on the daily candle close news. So this is the Bitcoin daily chart, and we talked about how the most likely idea for a bounce would be at, well, it'd be holding support of these exponential moving averages, which right now on the daily, if we were to zoom in, you know, we're holding the candle structure. We wick below, but we're holding the 223. So we were talking, dang, I don't know when I was out last. Yeah, I'm not too sure. We were talking recently about holding structure in this trend line and getting kind of like this zigzag bear flag type pennant to a breakout up. Okay, and well, now we're falling through right back to this what is no longer valid. I'd have to definitely readjust this. Yeah, so we definitely fell right through the 236, which is not uncommon. I mean, this is a red heated zone when we pull a fib in reverse. So you know, to accumulate right here around the 382, or possibly even get a double bottom at this psychologically 20,000, 20,500, hold support right here, or maybe even not even go that low, hold support at that 21,500. We know how crucial that range is. You know, kind of have like a W, or not a W, but a double bottom before continuation and climbing back up the outside of this before breaking into this. Well, it kind of looks like a bear flag, to be honest, or a parallel channel, a rising wedge. Rising wedges tend to have a 68% chance of a breakout to the downside. So we are getting that, but holding structure of some pretty key moving averages right now. So that's going to be important to pay attention to. What can we see as we get ready to head into the full moon and then transition into the spring, Ostara, the true new year, March 20th, the new moon. Okay, we were bullish around this new moon. I expect to finally hold structure somewhere. Hopefully it's a higher low. Maybe this is the only low we get. Hold structure at the 223 and are just balled up over the next few days right back into this channel. These two trend lines we have drawn up, kind of like a bear flag. So But if we get a breakdown of this exponential moving average and these levels, we could see $20,000 Bitcoin. I mean, we can close that CME gap. You know, we've had bearish divergence all over a lot of oscillators, so it's important the bulls show up and hold this key support level right here. Okay, so very, very crucial. See how long we've been going, you guys. 55 minutes. 55 minutes on the live, just hanging out, chilling, talking about what we're seeing in the near distant future. We talked about how important March is going to be, how to become Neo and Trinity. March is highly tied to this number 43. I thought we were going to watch Fight Club tonight, you guys, on Friday night movie night, but it didn't win, and I thought that was crazy, because if it did, I was so going to rave about how Fight Club gives us that 43 as well. But tonight's Friday night movie night with the Wolfpack in the Waters community, so definitely looking forward to tuning in and hosting that again if I have to, but if not, just being there ready to decode and be with a group of high conscience, like-minded individuals that are ready to be the change that they want to see in the world today. But you know, today was just a touch-up video on some things that we're seeing. Just wanted to come out and hang out on 3.3 at 3:33, teach you all the language of the angels and how to speak it with a gangster dialect, and just spend some time out in the heart of nature, in the matrix, plugged in with my pioneers, divergence and glitches, trying to raise the frequency and raise the vibrations. So, you know, there's not a lot more to talk about, other than the fact that, I mean, we could look at a few other charts like Ethereum and XRP. I mean, we've been accumulating this 36 cents. We you know, we didn't buy the low, but we bought 36 something. I think it's 369. I don't remember, something like that. But anyway, we were recently talking about in one of my last videos how we could possibly come back down to this 35 cent for XRP, and we did. So if we hit this 32.2 accumulation order that we have a limit order to hit, that we've been accumulating at for quite some time, if we were to continue to pill over for XRP, that'd be great. But you know, not financial advice, but we're underneath the 2 exponential moving averages, and we accumulate every time we fall below these exponential moving averages. We de-risk as we get above them, vice versa. So we're going to continue to accumulate XRP. You know, Solana, that's something that we've just been trying to heavily invest in. We're waiting for this $9.90 order to hit. It may never hit. So we've been dollar cost averaging into this dip right here that we've been getting, because we were able to, you know, on the daily time frame, if we look back in time, we were able to ride Solana from $5 to $20 all the way up to over $224, the 224, tying us into Satoshi Nakamoto right here. We met our first exit, reaccumulated, exited out again. It hit the 4, blasted past the 4236. We warned everybody get out, and well, now we're just reaccumulating again a year later. So same thing with Luna. I didn't personally hold it, had a roommate that did, and you know, I was screaming, hey, 4236, I screamed, here, get out. It fell. People were like, oh, it's going to the moon, and I was like, hey, get out, and it dropped 100%, you guys. It went to fractions of a penny. Same thing with you know, we were here to expose the FTX scandal and the potential we see in these markets for cryptos to lose everything you put your money in. So you got to pay attention and invest in real assets that are going to make it in the future. You know, and I'm not here to speculate which one and give you my 5 favorite coins. We talk about certain ones here and there. A recent play that I'm making a huge investment in is Jasmy, a coin that's down literally 99%, you guys, and has been since, well, its inception back in October of Halloween, Samhain of 2021, and I see this coin that is down 99% eventually going back to 2, 3, 4 cents, and you know, I'm gonna ride my little 100,000 tokens and you know, de-risk when it does go from fractions of a penny to 2, 3, 4 cents, maybe back up to double digits one day. So not financial advice, but we've been dollar cost averaging in throughout the lows when it's boring. Again, don't follow the hype, don't follow the sadness, don't freak out, don't hate it, don't date it, just trade it. So with all that being said, we're going to sign out of this one, Pioneers. Take care and God bless. Hope you all enjoyed the live. Pioneers rise, build your fortress, and build your legacy.